Let's talk about Tenet. Christopher Nolan just has a way to make you feel so stupid. I mean, the amount of times I've left the theater with the stupidest look on my face after seeing one of Christopher Nolan's movies, it's insane. Every single time. This one, I think, maybe unfortunately, is the most mind-boggling movie I've seen from him. I love Christopher Nolan. I love all his work. He's in my top 3 directors of all time. I absolutely love what he does. I love the attention to detail that he puts into all of his movies. I love the screenplay and how he formulates his movies, how he switches with the audience's expectations, how he messes around with time in every single one of his movies. Not only in the way that the movie is shown, but he also messes with time in the sense that he takes advantage of it. He always has a nail-biting third act in which there's always a ticking clock. Inception did this beautifully as you see the 3 stages of the dreams and how each of them have to accomplish a certain thing. And they all have to work together in order for their goal to actually be achieved. I'm pretty confident I could go through all of his movies and show you the similar motifs he uses throughout them. And that's not to speak badly of him. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. He absolutely makes it work, and he is the guy to direct this type of movie. I love it when directors take us, the audience, seriously, and they trust that the audience will catch up with them. Having said that, Christopher Nolan takes that principle to another level. He thinks that we can follow his brain process just as well as he follows his own brain process, and that's just not a thing. You are pretty lost for most of the movie. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because there is a certain catharsis that you feel after figuring everything out. However, doing that has a risk of you losing your audience throughout the movie because they're just so lost. And I would love to be able to tell you that I'm super smart and I catch every single little thing and I was never lost, but that's just a lie. I was lost for a big part of this movie and that did frustrate me a little bit. And it wasn't until like halfway through that you kind of start picking up on things and you start understanding the world that they live in. But even then, it's a very confusing thing when you mess with time. That's not to say that I did not like this movie. In fact, I very much did. It might not be as strong as some of his other movies like Inception and The Prestige, 2 of my favorites from him. I very, very much enjoyed this movie. Everything about it seemed big, powerful, and although it's not a very character-driven movie, which is what I usually prefer, it's more of a plot-driven movie, I still find myself hooked the whole time. And when I say it's not a very character-driven movie, I mean, it's not, let's just say, Inception, in which you kind of do feel for the main character, you understand his motivations the entire time, and you sympathize with him. You like him, you understand him, and you root for him. In this movie, he's kind of a blank slate. We refer to the main character as the protagonist the whole movie, and we don't really know a lot about him. We kind of learn as we go. Even he seems unsure of the world that he lives in, and that kind of disconnects the audience just a little bit. Of course, the actual plot is insane. I don't understand how he can come up with something this intricate. I thought when I saw Memento, maybe The Prestige, or Inception, I'm like, this is as crazy as you can go. I don't think you can conjure up anything more crazy. Well, he did. He definitely outdid himself in that sense. This is as crazy as the plot can get. I don't understand how you can dream this up. Get it? Dream, Inception, Christopher Nolan. Anyways, the cinematography, like always, is breathtaking. The stunts that he was able to do, half of the movie, I don't know how they filmed it. I don't know how they shot half of the things inverted and half on real time. So the movie kind of runs forwards and backwards, and sometimes that happens at the same time. I don't know how they filmed half of this movie because you see that happening and you're like, well, if they're filming someone going forward in time, how did they film the other person going backwards in time? It's honestly really mind-boggling. I don't know how they did it, but big props to them because I can imagine that was really complicated. Apart from everything I just said, I love that there can be a studio that will give someone like Christopher Nolan money to make an original story. I mean, it's not a remake, it's not a sequel to Inception. Sorry if you guys were hoping it would be. It's just an original story helmed by a very competent guy that I hope continues making movies for many years to come. I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5 stars from now. Upon further rewatches, I might bump that up to a 4.5, but I feel like because I don't understand it a whole lot, I can't really bring myself to bump it to that 4.5. But I do think I'm gonna need to rewatch it soon. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe, check out my latest videos, and as always, drop a like and drop in later.